The notion that the Satanic New World Order is behind the concept of global warming as a means to control the population is a conspiracy theory that has gained significant traction in recent years. According to the theory, a group of powerful individuals and organizations are secretly manipulating the global narrative to create a false sense of urgency around climate change, with the ultimate goal of establishing the one world government and enslaving humanity. Proponents of this theory argue that the idea of global warming is not supported by scientific evidence, but rather is a fabrication created to justify the implementation of draconian policies and regulations that will gradually erode individual freedoms and national sovereignty. They point to the fact that many of the world's most influential leaders and organizations, including the United Nations, the European Union, and the World Bank, are actively promoting the agenda of reducing greenhouse gas emissions and transitioning to renewable energy sources. However, a closer examination of the evidence reveals that the overwhelming majority of climate scientists agree that human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels and deforestation, are significantly contributing to the increase in global temperatures. The scientific consensus is clear: global warming is real, and it poses a significant threat to the health, security, and prosperity of human societies around the world. Moreover, the idea that a secretive group of individuals and organizations is manipulating the global narrative on climate change is not supported by credible evidence. While it is true that some governments and corporations have historically downplayed the severity of climate change, this is not evidence of a sinister conspiracy to control the population. Rather, it reflects the complex and often conflicting interests of different stakeholders in the global economy. It is also worth noting that the concept of a new world order is a vague and ill-defined term that has been used to describe a wide range of hypothetical scenarios, from a benevolent global government to a totalitarian regime. However, there is no credible evidence to suggest that a single, cohesive group of individuals and organizations is secretly working to establish a one-world government. In fact, the global response to climate change is characterized by a remarkable degree of cooperation and collaboration among governments, civil society organizations, and the private sector. The Paris Agreement, signed by nearly 200 countries in 2015, is a landmark example of international cooperation on climate change, and it has been widely hailed as a major breakthrough in global efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Furthermore, the policies and regulations aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions and transitioning to renewable energy sources are not designed to control the population, but rather to mitigate the worst impacts of climate change and create a more sustainable and equitable future for all. These policies include measures such as carbon pricing, renewable energy targets, and energy efficiency standards, which are designed to reduce the economic and environmental costs of climate change, while also promoting economic growth and development. In conclusion, the idea that the Satanic New World Order is behind the concept of global warming as a means to control the population is a baseless conspiracy theory that is not supported by credible evidence. The scientific consensus on climate change is clear, and the global response to this challenge is characterized by a remarkable degree of cooperation and collaboration among governments, civil society organizations, and the private sector. Rather than being a tool of control, the policies and regulations aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions and transitioning to renewable energy sources are designed to promote a more sustainable and equitable future for all. It is time to put aside these conspiracy theories and work together to address the real and pressing challenge of climate change.